Yo, soy boy, what's good? You want to boost your test? Well, that's good because I just made this free training for you. So grab a notebook, grab a pen, and get ready to take notes. Why? Because I'm about to drop all the sauce that you need to get high testosterone. So get ready. Don't be traveling. Don't be doing any bullshit. Take notes and watch this. All right, guys, this is going to be one of the most valuable videos I've ever made because it's going to show you how to 2x your testosterone in the next 60 days. Now, a lot of people don't understand why increasing your testosterone is even important. Everyone just thinks, oh, if I'm shredded, if I have more muscle, then I'm going to, feel good, look good, all that stuff. And you are completely wrong. For years, I would just, you know, get my bench up, get my squat up, get my deadlift up, eat, protein bars, protein shakes, chicken and rice, oats, all that shit. And I looked good. Like I looked pretty solid. I didn't have abs really, but I had a bunch of muscle. I wasn't too lean, but I felt like shit and my testosterone was not high. I had brain fog, my energy crashing all the time, and I was still hitting plateaus. So once you understand that increasing your testosterone is going to break through all your plateaus, fix all mental issues, energy, you know, sex drive, all that stuff. Testosterone is the funnel to everything, right? I believe that if you increase your testosterone, everything else in life follows. Not only just, getting healthier, but your relationships, your ability to make more money, all that stuff is going to come from increasing your testosterone. And this is because, when you're low testosterone, you can see mental fogginess, tired consistently, depression, even belly fat, stubborn belly fat, especially low sex drive, terrible bone health. And then once you optimize your testosterone, everything gets fixed. You look aesthetic, you feel good, you move good, your sleep is good, everything. Like everything is better. So this is how you're going to double your testosterone in the next 60 days. Now, why should you even listen to me? Well, here's why. Because I've had clients go from 305 testosterone to 827 in 2 months. And their free testosterone, I know this looks like it got lower, but the conversion mechanism is a little different. It got higher as well in just 2 months. This is one of my clients, Dean, who's been working with me for over 4 months now, but this is 2 months into the program. He already almost 3x his testosterone. And then me, as you can see right here, shredded, high test, 1426 is what I got over last summer. This summer, I'm aiming for 1500 testosterone. And this is all from the things that I'm about to go over. Once you optimize your diet, your training, your lifestyle, your testosterone goes up and you feel amazing. And not only do you feel amazing, but you look amazing. You look aesthetic, tan, shredded, no inflammation, always high energy, always waking up with that motivation to get after it every single day. I mean, you see me right now, I'm super energetic just talking about this. Why? Because my testosterone's high. And I believe that your testosterone should be as high as possible as well. Now, these are also two of my clients. Pierre, who is 30 years old, who went from 600 testosterone to 1100 testosterone. And then my boy Jad, who's been on, this is a 3-month transformation on the program. And this is my boy Jad. This is a 6-month transformation on the program. And his testosterone also doubled. As you can see, they're looking way more aesthetic, but not just how they look, how they feel and they operate on a daily basis. That is the most important thing, right? If you look good, but you can't operate well, none of it matters. That's why you got to optimize for both. And that's what I'm going to break down in this video so that you can look the best and feel the best. So I want you to understand the testosterone equation that I built and that I follow and all my clients follow to get the highest level testosterone, because there are multiple things that it goes into. So I call this the test maxing equation. So on the top is diet, lifestyle, and training, because the more optimal, the higher percentage of on track you are with your diet, with your lifestyle, with your training, the more output you're going to get, the higher the test maxing is going to be. And then the poisons, right? The poisons, the higher you consume and run into poisons, the lower the test maxing is going to be. So if you can get this number down, like when we think about this mathematically for a second, you get this number as low as possible and you get these numbers as high as possible, that's when the test maxing is going to be as high as possible. And then the most important factor, the most powerful factor, is consistency. So I'm going to break down how all these things, step by step guide on how you're going to optimize all these things to increase and double your testosterone in the next 60 days. So for diet, it's very simple. You want to optimize for cholesterol, micronutrients, protein slash fat levels. For years, I used to just think, oh, it's only protein, it's only calories. If you just get your protein in and you eat enough calories, you're going to produce more testosterone. That is far from the truth, because the truth is testosterone is derived from two things. Cholesterol, which a lot of people think is bad, but cholesterol is an anti like inflammatory mechanism for the body. It's a like nutrient that humans depend on to fight off free radicals and increase your testosterone. It's the building block for testosterone. So you need to optimize for cholesterol. Then micronutrients. Micronutrients like, vitamin A, vitamin B, minerals, vitamin C, vitamin D, all these micronutrients you need to have ample amounts of, or your body's not going to be able to optimize its hormones like testosterone, like your metabolism, like your cortisol. And then when those things are offset, you're not able to increase your testosterone, lose body fat, and get shredded and become aesthetic. Like micronutrients and cholesterol are one of the most important things. And then, of course, protein. Because when you optimize for protein and good quality fats, you're not only building muscle, but those high quality saturated fats also contain a bunch of micronutrients, which is also going to boost your testosterone. So that is what you got to optimize for. So the diet's actually very simple. Of course, when you look at all these things, you put the pieces of the puzzle together and you're like, oh, red meat, red meat, red meat, red meat. Think about protein and fat levels, red meat. High micronutrient levels, red meat. Cholesterol, red meat. You should be eating red meat every single day, ideally 1 pound at least. I eat 2.5 pounds of red meat a day because I'm 6'3", 220 pounds. But anyone and everyone should be eating at least 1 pound of red meat. And then when you go down, you think about it again. Oh, eggs, eggs, eggs. Red meat and eggs has to be the staple of your diet. 1 pound of red meat and 5 eggs every single day. I don't care who you are. Ideally, you should get those eggs up to, 8, 9, 10. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, the cholesterol. Like I said before, cholesterol is not bad. What is bad is your consistency with your diet, which I'm going to talk about later. But if you're eating inflammatory foods, the cholesterol is not going to be used properly. And that's when the cholesterol is going to be turned into bad cholesterol and actually clog up your arteries. But when you're eating completely clean and you're optimizing your diet, cholesterol is going to give you so much more power when it comes to energy, strength, all that stuff. And then cholesterol things like shrimp. You can add shrimp into your diet. A lot of cholesterol, a lot of protein, micronutrients, adding some fruit in there, protein, fat, raw milk. I love raw milk. A lot of people are scared of it, but raw milk is a good source. If you're scared of raw milk, don't add it in. But have meat, have a bunch of red meat, have a bunch of eggs, have some seafood, and have a bunch of fruit. You don't need vegetables. Vegetables are going to disrupt your gut. You've been lied to for a long time. And then, of course, some more raw milk. You can even add some raw cheese in there if you wanted to. But these are the main foods that you want to be optimizing for in your diet. No protein shakes, no oats, no vegetables. What else? Like no juices. Even like you can add Greek yogurt if you want to, if it's a really good source, but none of these fake health foods. This is all you need. And this is all I eat. And this is why I'm 1,500 testosterone. I eat 1.2 or 2.5 pounds of beef a day. I eat 10 eggs a day, a cup of raw milk, and a bunch of fruit. And that's all you need to produce testosterone. Now, yes, you can switch up foods, but if you have these as a staple, you're going to produce way more testosterone. So now the lifestyle. Lifestyle is one of the most important things when it comes to increasing your testosterone because the things you do on a daily basis, it repeats over and over again and it optimizes your hormones. So, of course, getting 8 hours of sleep in a cold room with zero lights, this is going to optimize for REM sleep, deep sleep. You have to be making sure you're sleeping 8 hours every single day. And the cold room allows you to fall asleep quicker and sleep deeper. And make sure there's no little tiny lights, even like a little night light, a little tiny light on your Wi-Fi router or whatever. Like eliminate everything, all the lights, close up all the windows, get blackout curtains if you have to. Make sure it is as dark as possible. Next, waking up and getting sun in the eyes and avoiding phone as much as possible for the first 30 to 45 minutes. Your phone gives off bad light and bad vibration, like bad rays to your brain. They're called beta rays. And when you wake up in the morning, your brain's in a gamma state. So you don't want to get your brain going right away or it's going to cause a lot of stress. So in the morning, you want to wake up, get sun in your eyes to reset your circadian rhythm, and then look at your phone, an hour, 2 hours after. So your brain's not going crazy right when you wake up in the morning, and then your anxiety's higher, your dopamine's a lot higher, and then you can't focus throughout the day. So do that as well. And then butter coffee to increase energy. So not just, any coffee, but I got my butter coffee right here. Why? Because butter coffee slowly digests the coffee as opposed to just drinking it. And you also want to wait an hour and a half to 2 hours before drinking coffee so your adenosine glands lower. If you drink butter coffee an hour and a half to 2 hours after waking up, your energy levels are going to be so much different and way better. And then fast to 1 to 2 p.m. I'm not recommending that everyone fast, but I just think it's a lot better for the average person to fast. That way your window of eating is a lot smaller so you don't overeat. Because obviously you want to eat these good foods, but you don't want to overeat because when your body fat's higher, you're not producing as much testosterone. So fast to 1 to 2 p.m., eat your first meal then. If you work out in the morning, then just eat your meal right after that. But I would recommend everyone fast to 1 to 2 p.m. Get 12,000 steps a day. Some of the steps after some of the meals to help the digestion. Now, 12,000 steps sounds like a lot, and it kind of is, but when you break it up into segments, like you get 30 minutes in the morning of walking, you get 15 minutes after one of the meals, and then you get 30 minutes in the evening, that's 12,000 steps. You will get 12,000 steps easily if you break it up. There is no excuse for you not to get your steps in on the day. And then either getting 30 minutes of sun or supplementing vitamin D. Vitamin D is a pro-hormone, as I talked about multiple times in other videos. You got to make sure you're getting vitamin D. So either get 30 minutes of sun to the chest and back, that's when you absorb the most, or supplement 15,000 to 20,000 IUs of vitamin D a day. Yes, that's a lot, but that's not even that much when you compare it to actually going out in the sun and getting vitamin D. So 15,000, 20,000 IUs. And then read 15 minutes, randomly throughout the day to reset dopamine and cortisol. A lot of people are looking at their phones, looking at blue lights throughout the day. Take a 15-minute break and reset your dopamine so you can lower your cortisol and your brain doesn't have all that fog in it. And those are all the lifestyle changes, as you can see. Next is the training. This training protocol is one of the most important things because a lot of people, their training is pretty bad. I see all the time when I go into the gym, people are just doing like these HIIT workouts, jumping stuff, stair stepper. It's like, bro, what are you doing? You're not training to optimize your testosterone. So here is how I would optimize anyone's training. So you got this is where you start the workout, the low volume, low intensity, heavy training. So every time you go to the gym, you want to start with barbells, dumbbells, and you want to go low volume, low intensity, so longer rest in between sets, and you want to train heavier to break down the muscle and gain strength. Then you want to go into, weighted explosive movements. So on a leg day, say you do, barbell squat. After, you want to do either sled pushes or hang cleans, those kind of explosive movements to increase testosterone because explosive movements have been shown to increase testosterone more. And then you want to taper more towards higher volume and higher intensity with lighter weight, whether that's through machines, lighter dumbbells, cables, adding some supersets, chasing a pump, in the 15, 20 rep range, and then doing finishers like, farmer carries, or, really just blasting the biceps with like a tricep or something. You want to add all the volume towards the end of your workout, and you want to focus on getting stronger in the beginning when you have more glycogen. And none of your workouts should take longer than an hour as well. So make sure you're keeping the intensity high and you're getting stronger. And that's how I would lay out pretty much all my training sessions. And then at the end, if you do want to do some light cardio like walking, low intensity stair stepper, some basketball, stuff like that, that's also good to just help the shreds, but not kill your test. And then the poisons, the most important thing that you want to avoid, because you can do all this stuff, but if you're not avoiding the poisons, you're still killing your test. So estrogens, things like polyester, plastic underwear, polyester underwear, Calvin Klein, you see all these brands, even like shirts, like this is a cotton shirt. I don't like to wear polyester shirts because it's all estrogenic plastic. And when it's on your skin, you absorb that estrogen into your body and then it decreases your testosterone. And then fake estrogens like colognes, PFAs, deodorants, all that kind of stuff that you're putting on your body every single day, shampoos, things that are not natural. You got to think of that. Everything that you put on your body, you got to understand, like, is this stuff natural or is it killing my testosterone? Because if it's not natural, it probably is killing your testosterone. I was using hairspray for the longest time until I looked at the back and there's fragrance in it. There's alcohol in it. And then, even to go a step further, drinking alcohol. Like a lot of you guys, you want to have high testosterone, but you're still drinking alcohol a lot. I'm not saying you got to cut it out. Now, me personally, I cut out alcohol, but if you want to take your testosterone to another level, you got to understand that alcohol and testosterone have an inverse relationship. So you can't do both, right? And there's studies on it. Like you can't do both. So you got to pick one. You either drink alcohol and destroy your health, or you optimize for your testosterone and you cut out alcohol. Like you choose. It's up to you. But I know what I'm choosing. And then blue light. Blue light is a poison, especially at night. So avoid your phone as much as possible at night, staying up late, and just reading more, having blue light glasses to block out all the blue light so your sleep is better, your dopamine's better, all that kind of stuff. And then inflammation. You got to avoid all the inflammatory things like processed food, seed oils, heavy metal things like, not organic stuff, pesticides, not organic stuff, making sure that everything is the best of the best quality, because if it's not, then you're probably inflaming your body. You're probably getting estrogens and it's causing hormone disrupting things in your body. So if it's not from the ground or from an animal, you shouldn't put it in your body or on your body, right? That's the rule of thumb. So once you do all this stuff right here, you focus in on the diet, you fix your lifestyle, you fix your training, you avoid the poisons. What's next? Consistency. So how do you stay consistent? Well, one of the things that I teach my clients is you track everything. I know it kind of sounds like a pain in the ass, but it keeps you disciplined over an extended amount of time. Download MyFitnessPal, track your steps, track how much you're eating, track all that stuff. I'm not saying you got to be specific, but you got to understand what you're putting in your body, because if you don't understand what you're doing, you're not going to understand what to change, and you got to hold yourself accountable. So I would recommend everyone download MyFitnessPal and then apply the test maxing journal. This is a method that I've used for the past 6 months to hold myself more consistent and more disciplined. So right here, I write down my morning routine, 5 needle movers that are going to make me a better person, and then the things that I have to get done. If you do that every single day, write this stuff down before bed for the next day, it's going to hold you more accountable. And the more accountable you can hold yourself, the more progress you're going to see. Because the truth is, you probably know what to do. You probably know what to do, but you just don't do it, right? Because if you did it, you would see gains, you would be shredded, you would be high test, and you wouldn't be watching this video. And then having that strong desire to get it done no matter what. You need to understand that your results are not too far away. Your ability to achieve 1,000 testosterone takes no more than 3-4 months. Your ability to get shredded and add muscle takes no longer than 90 days. This is John, one of my clients. Look at his back progress in 3 months. It's crazy. It's crazy. Why? Because he dialed in, we tracked everything, we held him accountable, and we got that consistency factor to see the results every single day. Because once you have the right layout, the right plan, and you execute every single day, failure is impossible. Failure is impossible. And then having the devil on your shoulder, and that devil is me. This is why I love doing what I do, coaching people one-on-one for a living, because I can see what they're doing specifically, and I can tell them, oh, we got to change this. You got to eat this meal. Why are you drinking bullshit? And I'll show you exactly how I keep my clients accountable to have the devil over their shoulder. So this is the dashboard where I track all my clients. So this is my client Kyle right here. He is specifically trying to put on mass. Now, not all my clients are like that. I have people who are trying to lose body fat specifically, lose body fat, gain muscle, just specifically increase their testosterone. I mean, that's everyone's goal at the end of the day, like I just said, and that's what happens. But of course, everyone has different physique goals as well. So this is where we manage everything. So as you can see, the weekly needle movers eat more calories from eggs. Right now, he's at 8 eggs a day. We're going to 10 to 12 eggs a day. And I know a lot of you guys are like, what the fuck? 10, 12 eggs a day? But that's what it takes to put on lean mass while increasing the testosterone. We're going to transition more over to a heavier training program just because we want to get stronger. Add an extra avocado to meal 1 for extra calories, and then be more specific when we track macros and steps. So in this is the dashboard. This is not where we track the macros, the meals, the steps, the training specifically. I have my own app for that where I can see everything that all my clients are doing. But this is the dashboard so that we can implement all the things and make sure that we're staying accountable as well as possible. And then we can see Kyle's daily protocol: 30-minute morning walk, 10-minute of grounding, butter coffee, daily supplement stack, track food on fitness app, which is the app that I use, and then 10,000 IUs of vitamin D or 40 minutes of sun, weigh in and progress pick every single week. And then we have all these modules down here to make sure that everything is dialed in and consistent. And then once a week, he'll book a call with me and we'll have our weekly call where we dive into everything and make sure that everything is locked in so that we're seeing progress on a weekly, monthly, even yearly basis. And if you're someone who wants that one-on-one accountability to go to the next level, not only to double your testosterone, but to get in the best shape you've ever seen and just become the ultimate version of yourself, book a call with me in the link in the description, in the bio, and we'll have a call to see if you're a good fit for my program and to get you to 1,000 plus testosterone. But understand, do not book a call if you are not 100% committed, because if you're not 100% committed, then I'm not 100% certain that you will get the results. And I want every single person who works with me and comes into this program to see the best results possible. And that's why I make these videos. That's why, on my Instagram, I have over 100 client testimonials. Why? Because I know this program works. It just comes down to how much you want it. And if you want it bad enough, I know you will get the results. So I hope this video helps, guys, and like and subscribe if you want more of this content.